Hey there, welcome to episode 8 of my hardcore forever world. Last episode we made that nice balloon up there, and you guys loved it, so I appreciate all the support for that. That was a lot of fun to make, and I guess a lot of fun to watch. Today I have a problem, and that problem is something I have been avoiding for apparently 700 days. Happy 700 days, by the way. But yeah, I don't have a reliable source of food other than those sweet cows over there that somehow keep producing meat for me. Yeah, today I'm going to tackle the food problem. Here's kind of what I'm thinking. So, as you can probably imagine, I want it to be totally automatic. I want the food to just be there when I need the food, and I don't have to do anything with it. But there's a few problems with that. You can't just have a totally automatic farm without, some villagers doing their thing. And the general solution, according to everyone else in the Minecraft community, would be to trap away some villagers in a fancy farm and, just have them do their thing in captivity. But, that's not how I roll, so, yeah, that's one problem. The next problem is if I don't have the villagers in captivity, I'm going to need a good way to collect what they are farming. So, obviously, allays. That's kind of a given, seeing as I've got a bunch of allays. But, then what happens when it's nighttime? The allays are just out and about, and they might get lost. So that's another problem I've got to solve. And, the final problem, on brand with everything else I do here, it's got to look good. I can't just have a brick of a farm sitting out there somewhere and, making this place look ugly. Wow, this is perfect timing. Look at this. Beautiful sunset. Let's hit it. Anyways, those are the problems, and I'm going to try and conjure up a good farm that will take care of all those problems. But first we got some naming to do, so, let's go ahead and do that. I've got several names to catch up on. All right, first things first. All the way back from the Allay Sanctuary video, looking good. We've got lots of helpers in here. I'm thinking I'm gonna need probably about 8 of them today for what I'm doing. But anyways, first name we got to put down is this cute little guy, and we're gonna just set this little fella, I guess in here where he originally was introduced. Sometimes I feel a little weird about just putting fellas out when not thinking about hazards, but hopefully he'll stick around. So, anyways, Klondike 1000, thank you for your constant support. I appreciate you hopping in and naming some stuff. What are you doing? I can't name you when you're in the lily pad. Klondike said we should name this little fella Axl Rose, after the lead singer of Guns N' Roses. So I think that's a great name, but you like this lily pad, don't you? Next one we've got a name. I said I was only going to name 2 cats, but you guys came through with more and some good suggestions. Cons K24A, thank you for your comment. I think these are very fitting cat names, Luna and Gracie. So the original 2 cats, Luna and Gracie, I promise at some point I'm going to take them away from over here. But then we've got the next 2 cats. I realized I had put these ones up here, so technically, they're not in the farm. I will give them names, and we had some extras. So 2 more names from Christian. Sorry if that's not exactly pronounced right. That's what Google said I was safe to say, so you can blame Google. But we've got Vanilla and Cinnamon, and I'm guessing you want this one to be Cinnamon and this one to be Vanilla. I feel like that would make the most sense. That leaves this poor fella out. But we had a great suggestion from Sockinch. You guys keep giving me these hard names to work with, so you can't blame me, okay? I'm doing my best. But the suggestion was we should name all the other cats and any other subsequent cats in the world that are just used for farming or whatever. They will either just be Toby or Pinto. So when I see them, I can just, say whichever one. So this one is Toby. Hello, Toby. And to the 20 more cats that are sitting in that mountain there, Toby and Pinto. So, hello, Toby and Pinto, all of you. But anyways, that's the naming. We're all caught up for the most part. There'll be another naming opportunity later in the video, so I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because I don't need you thinking about them yet. You better be quick to comment, though, when you see it. Anyways, we got some mining to do because I've got a lot of resources for this contraption I'm going to whip up. Obviously, I've already kind of thought about what I'm going to do, so I'm not going to be figuring it out for you guys because that's going to be a really long episode. But I'm going to gather some resources, show you a little first time lapse because you guys love that kind of thing. And then I will see you when we are ready to build the farm. Hey there. Sorry to interrupt your montage and the block noises and all that. You're probably sleeping, but I just wanted to show you something really, really cool, especially at sunset. But I have been mining a bunch of iron and coal in this mountain area I found about 1,000 blocks away in that direction, and it is insane. I literally already have 49 blocks of raw iron, 32 blocks of coal, and you can, if you zoom in, there's just veins everywhere. So if you ever wonder how I'm gonna get endless supplies of iron without ever making an iron farm, yeah, this is it. This mountain here is gonna give me all of the iron I'll ever need. Also, I wanted to introduce a new friend, a little naming opportunity for y'all. Found a green parrot while I was coming over here and thought, wow, it's the same color of green as I am. So yeah, go ahead and drop a cool name for a green parrot in the comments. Now we have a little friend for Dizzy Desi back at the base. So yeah, anyways, back to the program. Sorry for interrupting, but yeah. Alrighty, well, I am back now, and I think it's time to pick out a good spot for where to put this farm. I've had a few ideas currently. Well, I need to park it right here, but I'm flying over to combine the rest of my materials. Here, I'll show you guys my materials that I got. So I've been doing all my farming and everything and putting it all in here. So I've got tons of seeds, tons of potatoes, tons of wood, tons of carrots, all of the stuff that I'm going to need for this. A good bit of all of this too. But then I also have all this iron and redstone in order to make all of the different components I'm going to need for this. Lots of hoppers, lots of redstone. Hello, Timothy. Oh, I didn't know this was you. Okay, I'm leaving. Yeah, so kind of the reason I need so many crops to start out with is the mechanism for this. I'm basically going to have to fill the inventory of a bunch of different villagers in order to make them farm without collecting anything. So that's why I've got all that. There's also a component in this system that I will reveal later that also requires a good bit of starting crops in order to, you know, get it going. But after that, it will be self-sustaining. So I was originally thinking maybe put it over there, but that's like too far away from the village in my opinion. Then I was thinking over here, since I already kind of have the farm there, except I don't know, I feel like I've got a different idea for that later, and I didn't want to obstruct the view of Dinosaur Mountain at all from my house. So the last spot that I figured would probably be best would be right in here. since I haven't done anything out in the jungle yet. And hopefully the design I'm going to go for will complement well with the jungle over there. So, oh, look at this guy. This guy's so cute. He's just following me all around. So yeah, that's kind of the plan for now. I guess there's not really a lot else to do before I just go ahead and build it. So I'm going to first kind of mine out an area. It'll be about, I think it's like 30 by 30 blocks in order to put all the redstone in. Then from there we'll make the redstone, and then we'll slap the fancy thing on top, and then I'll be back to get some villagers and allays situated in there, and hopefully the farm works. Otherwise I'm going to have to do some tweaking. But yeah, I guess quick to the next montage. Alrighty. Alrighty, well, I've got all the redstone built, so I'm going to try and explain it as simply as I can without totally confusing you guys, which it probably will confuse anyways, but yeah, I've scripted this a little so that I don't get sidetracked, but basically the idea with this funny looking contraption here, obviously you've seen me build it, so I'm not going to have to show you too closely, but around here in this open spot, I'm going to have to fill it in, and that's where there are going to be villagers working. And I'm planning on having 4 villagers, kind of broken into like quarters, I guess you could say. And each villager will have its own type of crop. I'm going to do carrots, potatoes, and then I guess technically 2 villagers are going to have wheat. So yeah, just for extra wheat and bread for more villagers later. But you get the point. Anyways, so basically the idea is villagers will be farming, and then there will be allays collecting everything that they drop. Now I've got to fill the inventories of the villagers, which is going to be a whole nother task, so that they don't actually end up picking up any of the stuff that they farm. It just kind of drops, and then the allays can come get it. But then the allays, obviously, just like my allay sanctuary over there, will be being called over to this note block here. We've got another fella, he's kind of trapped. But yeah, so that's basically the very simplest part of it. Now you may be wondering what all this other redstone is for. Well, that's the fun part, because like I said at the beginning with all those problems I'm trying to solve, basically all the rest of this redstone functions as a 3-condition recall system for the allays. So what do I mean by that? Basically, well, I mean, I'll just go through the 3 conditions and you'll kind of get the point. So just like my raid-proof village over there, the first condition is if a raid were to happen, and I'll just quickly simulate that for you. An impulse that I'm going to connect later will come into here. So somebody rung the bell, and then now this whole system is activated. After a certain amount of time, these doors will shut, and the allays will be held in here until the system is reset. So as you can see, there was a little bit of a timer, and then these shut. So then the next condition is nighttime, okay? So right over here, I've got a little daylight sensor that I've put onto night mode. And the exact same thing that just happened with the impulse over there will basically trigger the same mechanism. And after a certain amount of time, those doors will close. Now, for the final condition, literally just a switch that I can toggle myself. It's currently in the farm position. Over here will be, if I put it this way, it'll be the lockdown position. But I've got to technically reset it right now because that impulse was done. So yeah, this is I can choose to do it, or it also functions as a reset switch for when that one or this one has been put into lockdown mode. This one automatically resets itself, so when the sun comes up, everything will just reset. So basically what happens when any of these 3 impulses is triggered, there is a piston over here that is blocked, very similar to the designs I used for my raid-proof village. Basically blocks this signal. When this signal is turned off, it signals a timer to turn on and start ticking down. So these comparators here all form one singular timer. When these timers quit, the trigger is turned off, and this mechanism here basically sends a signal up here to turn off all of these torches, which then opens, well, technically, yeah, I guess opens these trapdoors, which function as closing doors for the allays. Then, the whole time that this timer is activated, there is an impulse through here in a repeating system that sends a constant pulsing wave over to these droppers that will be filled with different types of crops that the allays are gathering. And so basically that is ticking the whole time that this timer is on. It stops as soon as the timer is turned off. But basically what those droppers are doing, just like you can see this cobblestone that I just picked up, they are just dumping loads of items that the allays are seeking, and basically that will call all the allays into this little area here. This will be like its own room, and it will just keep dumping until these doors go up, and it will make it so the allays are basically staying in this little area until the doors close behind them, and at that point they won't be able to get back out. So that's about as simple as I can put it. I guess, well, one more thing. This is kind of a cool part. You may be wondering, how do I get the different crops into these 4 droppers? And it's actually funny because when I was designing this thing on a super flat world, I had a big old mechanism that was way too big, took up way too much space, and it had a bunch of hoppers. I had never really confirmed this, but I wasn't sure. I basically discovered that hoppers can draw from a hopper above them, even if that hopper is not pointing down into them, if that makes sense. And I had seen that in like different, sorting tutorials and stuff, and it just never really clicked in my mind, but it definitely did when I did that. So yeah, needless to say, my previous design took up way too much space and had a problem, but that problem basically taught me that I could literally just do this. So there's a whole nother row of hoppers underneath the top hoppers. And basically what these do is they draw half of the items that land in the outer hoppers. So if an LA comes and places, let's say, well, we'll say 32 into one of these, okay? 30, basically 16 of those are going to send on over to the chest, but the other 16, I think, yep, are going to land in one of these droppers. So basically all of these outer ones do that except for the inner one because it's not connected to anything. But so that will basically keep these droppers completely full so that I never have to put any crops in there. So basically the farm and the recall system should technically keep working forever without any bone meal input from me because the villagers are going to take care of all that. And then also without me ever having to reload these with crops in order to get the recall system working, if that makes sense. So that's about as simple as I can put it. Hopefully this design is all that it's cracked up to be. But yeah, it should be an entirely hands-off, just trickle farm for me that'll give me unlimited crops. So yeah, enough yapping. That's definitely the most yapping I'll be doing today. So yeah, I guess it's time to build the fancy part of this, probably the part that you guys actually enjoy. And I think you'll like the design I'm going to come up with for this. So, yeah, have fun. All right, that's it. The farm is completed. And you already know what I'm going to say. This definitely took way too long. You can see it's day 806. This video started at day 700. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. But I think it turned out exactly how I wanted it to, as far as the aesthetics go. As far as this thing actually working, I guess we'll see. But, yeah, a couple things before this thing is actually fully up and running. You guys have already seen most of it, but I'll give you a quick tour. And there's someone I want you to meet. So I was not originally planning on having this cool little collection chamber at the end, but I figured it would be a fun way to kind of polish off this storage house area. And I put a cool little honey block elevator thing, so once this farm's going, you'll be able to see all the items coming down to our friend here. But that being said, this guy's gonna need a name. So there you go. First copper golem. Make it something really good that would be fitting for my first copper golem, because you already know there's going to be plenty more of these fellas in here. Anyways, this is the collection house kind of thing. I've got the toggle for the farm. It's currently in farming mode. If I flip that, it'll be in recall mode. I've got everything set here. We've got, I'll just fly around free cam so you guys can see. We've got 2 wheat sections, a carrot section, and a potato section. So, yeah, I already planted everything so it would get a good little head start before I fill the inventories of the villagers. I hope you guys like this. I built this one. You probably can see in the time lapse. I built this one and then I went back and changed that one because I realized this one looks like a potato. It's like a potato looking house. So I planted the potatoes here. Over here, I changed these to copper and kind of long, skinny design features. So I put the carrots here. These ones, I wasn't inspired at all, so they're just regular brown looking huts. Alright, so we've got a few tasks to do to get this thing going. First of which is going to be filling up the recall chamber. I guess more so priming the mechanism so that the allays have something to come back to every night. Basically what I'm going to do, since I know these are going to get kind of filled weird anyways, I'm going to put 2 of each item and then one of them is going to get 3, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these in here. Just kind of prime it so that, you know, it's topped off to begin with. I've also already filled these chests up with the excess that I had from the other farm. So, yes, these will be in the chest to start with, but I'll also use most of these for filling the inventories of the villagers. Yeah, then our fella knows where to put stuff. I also added access to every one of the villagers' houses through the bottom here. I added a lot of features. I kind of need to go over those too. But one main one that I added was obviously every single villager's house has the raid-proof village system under it, connected to the main line of the village. But I also added a bell under here, since this is far enough away from the regular village that if a raid were to go off in the regular village, the villagers here would also get a signal to, you know, go back into their houses, and obviously they'd be locked in and safe. So, doink doink. Okay, now we just need wheat and seeds. I've got so many seeds from my other farm that I actually decided to leave this, I'll just leave this end chest here empty. And I put a little mechanism under here to basically just feed it into a composter and then feed it back into the main system so that it'll just flow down with the rest of the stuff and just basically make constant bone meal. I may have to go get some more wheat real quick, I don't know. Okay, I got enough wheat to probably put a half stack in each one of those, and that should do just fine. Yeah, we're just gonna skimp on it. That's what we're gonna do. It should be fine. I don't think that there's gonna be an issue with the allays dumping out too much wheat. If there is, I'll fix it. Whatever. I think next what we need to do is get the villagers all of their different seeds. So we'll start with the potatoes. I think they take 8 stacks to fill. So yeah, sorry if this suddenly looks much more confusing than it did originally, but I've got a lot of different cords running around here. I also added a little switch here that will automatically reset the raid doors if the main switch up there is flipped off and on again. So the main feature is what I explained earlier with the redstone. If you build that, you'll have basically everything here. Then you can add whatever else you want, like I did. Also got some bees up there. It's great. Hopefully this thing is as functioning as I planned it to be. The main question is, will this guy collect these? Oh, he will. Oh, let's go. Okay. Well, let's just give him all of them. Oh, yeah. He should be full now. All right, sir. We're going to let you go. How do I... Whoops. Hello. Yes. How's it going? You know what? Let's seal the deal so this guy doesn't change his profession. And I got an emerald. Yay. All right, dude. You just do your thing. I'll have some malays over later, okay? And they'll pick up after you, so spill whatever you need to spill. Okay, next person. The carrot man. Here, I'm going to put these down here so we know how much we actually collect. Hello, Trevor. Okay. As per usual, I make this place inaccessible to mobs, but I try to make it parkourable for myself. Before we do that, sorry I get sidetracked, but I wanted to show you guys this view. This is the only villager who has his own window. And, yeah, that was the first house I made, and then I decided I didn't want to be so fancy on the other ones. So, the other ones are okay, but this one's the fanciest. He gets to look out into the real world, not just into the center there. But I also put a fence around the entire circle there, and there shouldn't be any ways the normal mob would be able to jump in. So that's to keep raids out and just zombies and stuff. I tried to make it kind of lower so that if a raid did start, things wouldn't even be able to look in and shoot. So that's the idea there. Anyways, back to Mr. Carrot here. Ooh, that's a good name. Put in the comments if you want this guy to be named Mr. Carrot. Hello, Mr. B. Okay. Your turn to get carroted. Does Mr. Carrot want to become Mr. Carrot? He's currently trying to find a way to escape. Little does he know, there is no way to escape. That brings up another important topic, captivity for these guys. The way I see it, yes, these guys cannot get out of this little area, but I'm trading that for their ultimate protection, and they're getting to do what they love out in the open. They're not in a building, they're not fenced in completely. They get to breathe fresh air and farm. So I think they've got it made. This guy, on the other hand, does not seem to want to, Oh, there he is. Good man. Thank you. Yes, we are friends now. Alright. Get to work. Yeah, I'm going to be honest, guys. I know I've had 2 naming opportunities in this video already. The Mr. Green Parrot and the Copper Golem. But I only have 1 name tag left. So, I'm thinking, unless I find more name tags, I'm going to just have to remember these off the dome. So, if you guys decide this guy's name is Mr. Carrot, that's his name. I probably won't get around to naming him for a long time. Yep. Oh, look at this. So Mr. Potato is already putting out some good crops here. Look at that. Obviously, I'm not expecting this thing to just crank crops, but it's going to be like a trickle farm, and I shouldn't ever have to do anything with it except for maybe occasional maintenance, or if a zombie gets in or something, that would be bad. But, ooh, look at that. Look in here. So this is the idea I was going for. If they're just dumping out the crops, and then these doors close, then the allays are all in here. So that'll be exciting here in a sec when I get that moving. Good man. Take it. Yes. Oh, okay. So you're a beet man, but I'll get some bread. I do need bread. So, all right. Head on to bed. Okay. Quick sleep. Sorry, sir. Sorry that you're homeless, but I need your bed. Oh, your forehead is too tall to get in here, sir. Yeah, I tricked you. It may look like a normal door, but you can't get in. What are you selling? Bookshelves? Nice. Perfect. Great job, sir. There we go. Bro is getting to work. That means I better get to work and get these allays over here. This is going to be a fun little excursion here. I might do like 2 at a time or something. I don't know. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mr. Dirt. I will upgrade you to potato. There we go. See if we can extract these fellas. These are the allays of Mr. Potato. Come on. There we go. Oh, we've got him. We've got him. Don't listen to the beat. It's deceiving. It's meant to keep you in there. It's time for you to listen to a different beat. You're free. So something I did notice, it was a flaw in my design, is sometimes the poor allays get a little bit trapped on the door here, but they normally make it in eventually. During this process, as you can see, I pulled over some villagers, but there was a lot of other villagers created at the same time, so the village population is healthy again. There we go. There we go. Check that out. Come on. There we go. This sheep has been here the whole time of this building. He just lives in here. This is the sheep's domain. Please lower your altitude. Lower your altitude. Thank you. They are fiending to get back to that noise. Great. Let's go, crew. This could be difficult. Did we get everybody? I think so. Oh my goodness. Just our luck. There's pillagers. I know you guys weren't the original ones, probably. But you gotta stay away from those guys. Those are the fellas that captured you originally. Alright, follow me. I trust you guys. Yeah, there we go. We're far enough away from any sound blocks that it should be fine. Go on in, you guys. Help your farmers out. I'm sure they've got a lot of stuff. Mr. Carrot's over there on the other side. Come with me, you two. There. I think we've got them all. Let's see how effective the night recall portion of this system is. So he made it in just fine. This guy he just wants to stay out at night, which is fine. When I was testing this, definitely occasionally there were times where an allay was just left out. So if it's just one, he should be good. He should stay in the area because he can still hear the beat and all that. So that's kind of the idea. I mean, for the most part, it should preserve the allays, hopefully. See if our villagers are fast asleep. Yep, nice. Good stuff. Okay, see if the little doors opened. Yep, they did. Okay, so that's working. Seems like the allays are having a much easier time getting in that way. Head on in. There we go. I have a feeling things are trickling slow enough. What do you want? You can't come in here. We may not start to see a ton of crops coming in until these are full. Hopefully that doesn't take forever. But once these are full stuff, then everything should start backloading into the main area. But if this farm takes a little while to get moving, that's fine. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do now is just test the other two scenarios, and we'll see if this thing locks down like it's supposed to. So I'm going to put the manual lockdown. Okay, we got them coming out. Nope. Oh, interesting. So that side did not close. Oh, I know why. Because it's a different kind of setup. That's fine. What the heck? Boy, I messed this all up. I can fix this while the villagers are asleep, though. Should be good. Here's some stuff coming through. Oh, yeah, so that's what it's supposed to be like. Now, obviously, there's going to be a good wave of stuff coming in once those dump. But if those have technically been filling all day, and then they dump a bunch of stuff, then, you know, it kind of evens out. So, I don't know. I mean, I've never actually made this farm before and ran it for a long time, so this literally could just mean we kind of get like a load of food every evening. I don't know. Everything okay? It's midnight. I don't know if you can see. You having trouble sleeping? Is that what's going on here? Poor guy. I'm gonna go move your bed and maybe you'll come into sleep. I'll put your bed right here. Okay. Good night, Mr. Carrot. Good work today. Alright, let's check on it. Whoa, someone's shooting the arrows. Looks like the doors are open. The allays are hard at work. So here's another problem. Now they're doing this number. Spinning on top of this thing. Whatever. I think it's still more effective than before. But maybe I'll think of a better way to do that. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna hit the raid button, aka the bell, and make my whole village panic. Yes, go get him, sir. Wow. You're so strong. Here, I've got a treat for you. Thank you. Panic, panic. Looks like some people's doors have not been reset since I've been experimenting. Oh, wow. Wait. I didn't see it, but I think it worked. This guy's in his place. The allays are being recalled. That guy is in his... Uh-oh. Did I not trade with him? That's not good. He should still have a full inventory, though. I don't think that would get rid of it. I must not have traded with that guy. Whoopsies. Good to know. It's the kind of stuff you find out when you're testing things. This guy is totally oblivious to the fact that there is a hypothetical raid happening. He's getting some key farming done. But I'm quite confident that if he were to walk in here... Let me look at the mechanism. That would go off, which would open this, and it would... Yeah, okay. So it would work. Now we just do that, and it should reset everything. Yep. Welcome back. Well done. That was just a drill. Don't worry, your life is not in danger. Hello, sir. Thank you. Now your job is secure. You have job security. That's good. Alrighty, well, we have run through every scenario. I am going to wrap up the video here, but I think what I'll do, I'm going to just let this farm run for a little while and kind of, you know, get more up to speed. And then I will insert a clip showing kind of more so how much it's able to produce. So... I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. If this farm is a dud, at least it looks really cool, right? It's been, I mean, you can see the day count. I can't remember off the dome because I haven't looked at my past footage, but it's probably been like 10 days or something like that. I've just been sitting here. And as you can see, the carrots are flowing. We have accumulated a good bit of potatoes. I feel like the potatoes are like going the most. So these are all ones that are fresh. I put these ones in here, but these are all from the farm. These are the carrots and bone meal that came in. Yeah, so lots of carrots. And this is all the wheat that came as well. Basically, it seems like most of it comes at night. Like, once the recall system is activated and a bunch is dumped out, then a lot of that comes back in here. I mean, over a couple days of me just being in the area, and we have this many crops collected without really me doing anything, I'd say that's pretty effective. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed making this thing. It was a lot of fun. It was a bit of a challenge. It took me a while to figure everything out as far as the mechanism goes, but it seems like it works pretty well. So like I said earlier, all those problems we had, I think are pretty much all solved with this. The villagers are free. There's allays to collect everything. The allays are safe. There's a recall system. I don't need a bone meal anything. I don't need to refill anything. So basically entirely hands off for me, and looks cool too. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Make sure you name the copper golem and the green parrot. And if you think Mr. Carrot should be named Mr. Carrot, comment Mr. Carrot down below. And it probably will happen. But anyways, okay, make sure you subscribe. See you guys next time.